Hey everybody, welcome to Ironhack's short intro to numeric values in JavaScript. My name is Nizar Khalife, lead instructor at Ironhack in Miami, and I'd be guiding you through this lesson. So this is meant to be introductory, and I'm assuming no previous knowledge of programming or JavaScript. And I'd like you to follow along in your browser's JavaScript Console. Now, the console is a window that opens in your browser that allows you to run JavaScript. And so I'll be showing instructions of how to open the console in different browsers. So just pause on whatever browser you're using and then open it. So pause here if you have Chrome so you can open your console. Pause here for Firefox. For Safari users, you have to pause here and then pause here. And finally, for unfortunate souls running Internet Explorer, you can pause here. Alright, the first thing we need to learn about JavaScript is that it deals with values. One of the most basic kinds of values are number values or numeric values. Now, let's play with some number values in the console. So I happen to have a console open already. I'm going to type in my favorite number, which is 42. So I just type it in and hit enter. And hey, the browser replies saying, hey, it's okay. I understood this as 42. Cool. Now, you can type in a lot of different numbers, really long ones, and it knows what you're talking about. You can also take decimal numbers, also known as floating point numbers. So let's go 9.999. Hey, it understands that too. So you can put the dot pretty much anywhere, and it kind of understands what you're saying. Now, there are limits to the precision of decimal numbers. So if you give it like a really long one, it may cut it off. Okay. So aside from that, any amount of numbers goes. So, go crazy with your favorite numbers, and JavaScript should understand what you're talking about. So that's number values. Next thing we want to talk about is variables. Variables like a container, for example, a box. Variables have names. Imagine that the box had a label. We can put values inside the box and then refer to them later by their name. So let's check out how to do this in the console. So I'm going to clear this so we don't get distracted by long numbers. Now, declaring a variable starts with the var keyword. That lets JavaScript know that a variable is going to be declared. So now after the var keyword, I type in the name for the variable. In this case, I'm going to type in my favorite number. And then after the name, we have an equal sign, which stands for assignment. It's saying this variable will assume the following value. Okay, so the value I'm going to put is clearly 42 because that's my favorite number. So again, the var keyword, the name of the value, which is here, the equal sign saying I want this variable to contain this value, and then the number 42 is going to be put inside this container, this box. Okay, so, and I hit enter. When I run that, the browser replies to me with undefined. Don't worry about that. But now we can type in my favorite number and see Chrome is smart enough to autocomplete that for me and knows that that is a thing that exists. So if I type in my favorite number, that name of the box that I chose, I hit enter, and boom, it knows that I'm talking about 42. Now, once a variable exists, you can kind of take out old values from the box and put new values inside the box. So I'm going to type in my favorite number again because I want to reassign the value, or rather put a new value inside the container. So I'm going to say my favorite number equals. Notice that I'm just using the name this time and not the var keyword. The var keyword is just for the first time you use a variable. So I have my name and my equal sign that I'm saying, hey, I'm going to give this a new value. So I'm just going to give this the value 43. And so now when I type in my favorite number and hit enter, I get 43 back. It knows that the value changed. I can use that label, that name, but then it knows that that has a different value now. So as the last example, I'm going to give it a decimal value, just to illustrate that you can put any kind of value in a variable and it works. So that's variables, and that's numeric values, and that's all I got for you. So next up is a cool interactive exercise. So I'll see you then.